Welcome to our life. It's a new season and I'm super excited. And what better way to kick it off is with our all men's show. So women, do you really think you know how your man feels about relationships, mental health? So when we return, I will have some phenomenal men with me that are going to start peeling back the layers of mask of things that they only discuss in the locker room. So get your wine, get your popcorn, and fasten your seat belts, and we will be right back to go into a man's locker room. All right, ladies, we are back, and I hope you got your wine, your popcorn, you've buckled your seatbelts, because we're about to start peeling back these masks with my awesome guests and what they discuss in the locker room. So let me introduce each of them. So I have Mr. Damon Valentine with me today, and if you've seen any of my shows, you've seen Damon many times before. Damon, tell the people a little bit about yourself and the company that you are the CEO of, because Damon works with young men.
Yes, so the Young Kings, the K is for knowledge, the I is for integrity, the N is for nobility, and the G is for gentlemen. So I have Young Kings LLC and Young Kings nonprofit. So I work with young men with absentee fathers. Also built the curriculum and the interactive kids book to where the kids can scan the code in the book and rap along to the motivational words in the book. So uplifting the youth, motivational speaker, music artist, actor. Right after I get out of here, I gotta go prepare for a major play that's coming up called A Few Good Men. So anything motivational, positive, that's what I'm about. D. Valentine, the man of many hats.
Definitely, he is a man of many hats.
Model fedoras too. So
I have also Mr. Al Fitzgerald that came all the way by 10 hours to get here. I'm just playing. 10 hours to get here with me. Thank you, first of all, for traveling and coming down to Houston to tape this show with me. You have a very full pass.
I do have a very full
You
pass.
have
She said it took 10 hours to get here. Actually, it took 52 years. But I made it, you know what I mean? So it was the journey. Yeah, I do have a very colorful past. You know, like he said, a man of many hats. I've worn many of them too. You know, from Marine Corps to college to prison. You know, I owned a couple barbershops in Cali before I relocated to Texas, where I will open in San Antonio soon. I have a line of beard oil that's named after my son.
You moving. I'm gonna let you hear.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm gonna give it back to Monique. Again, a man of many hats, and I hope that I can share something with you today that'll help you on your journey.
Kidney cancer survivor.
Yeah, kidney cancer.
Kidney cancer survivor. 35 years in prison.
Not 35. I had a 35-year sentence, and I did 13 and a half before I won an appeal and got home.
Molestation.
Molestation as a child, yes, by women who were supposed to be there for me, you know,
And you've overcome all of that. you're a successful barber in San Antonio. Is it San Antonio?
San Antonio.
You do have a beard, all that. I was gonna bring all that out.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Plug.
Tell us about the beard oil.
The beard oil was inspired by my son. When I got out of prison, I moved to California. My younger son, Dewan, that's why it's called DJ 14. He came out to live with me after a few years. He had an accident. He was in a coma over 2 years and passed away. He always wanted a beard. So in his coma, I began to grow mine. And after he passed away, I developed the beard oil in dedication to him. It's a very nice product. He was very fond of marijuana, so it's infused with hemp oil. It's infused with hemp and CBD oil, but no THC, so it's perfectly harmless.
I definitely saw that in there. I was reading. Right. And I have Mr. Andrew Landry here with us as well. And you are Where Men Hurt.
Yes, ma'am.
You're a speaker, overcoming addiction. You have 2 books that I have here with me, and you just opened, what's the name of the restaurant?
Juicy Heads and Spicy Tails, Crawfish, and more.
You just opened. Come on. Thank you for being here with me. Tell me about After the Violation and Overcoming the Addiction That No One Has. Tell me about these.
So my first book, Overcoming the Addiction That No One Has, was inspired out of me overcoming sex addiction. So as a young boy, I was sexually molested. That brought me into a life of sexual promiscuity and addiction. And so from the first book we wrote about 3 years ago, Overcoming Addiction, it talks about the process of overcoming addiction, not just sex addiction, but all addictions. And then from that, we wrote the second book, After the Violation, a comprehensive guide to healing while after being sexually mishandled. So we took that book and kind of took the steps that it took to get past the previous abuse. And so from both of those books, we developed Where Men Hurt. One of the things that in the process of writing the book, God revealed to me is that men don't have a safe place to talk about real life issues.
No.
And so Where Men Hurt is a nonprofit organization designed to give men a platform to talk about real life issues in a safe, non-judgmental setting. We meet at a barbershop in Humble on Monday nights and via Zoom, and we tackle those real issues. And so that's Where Men Hurt.
And I heard that a lot. When I started this show, I initially dedicated it to women. But I met a lot of men saying, we go through stuff. So, you know me, I laughed at first. But I was like, y'all don't go through nothing we deal with. And then I decided to open up my platform to all men and do all men shows. And what I tell women when I do these shows with men, we are not talking about why they cheat on you. You know why they cheat on you, so why we got to talk about that? They are talking about mental health. They are talking about being molested. They're talking about like stuff that just blew me away and shut me up. And I talk a lot. It just shut me up. So I want to thank each of you for coming, and towards the end, we'll get all your contact information and social media information, so people can reach out to you if they choose to reach out to you and stuff for products and stuff. So, but let's start peeling back the mask, and I'm gonna start off this segment with relationships. So now see, I was not going to be messy, but I'm going to be messy because I want to know what y'all think. So let's talk a little bit quickly about Jada Pinkett and that slap and that Will Smith and let's talk just a little bit about that. I wasn't gonna be messy, so I know how I feel about it and how I looked at it. But as a man, how would you have handled that, or how do you look at that whole situation?
Keep Monique's name out your mouth.
See, you're on the wrong show.
Sorry about that, you know.
So do y'all feel that he was defending his wife?
Go ahead.
I feel completely, I don't know, I don't share my opinion about certain things because people look at you differently, but I look to Jada as being a problem. Not that she sent him to go do it, but I wouldn't deal with a woman who wouldn't allow me to self-destruct in that type of venue. There's no way. You know what I mean? The women that I deal with, it can be something as small as going to cuss the bartender out for not putting a straw in her drink. the first thing she does is, baby, where you going? You know what I mean? So for him to get up at the Oscars and walk up there and slap Chris Rock and she never moved or said anything to him when he got back, that's all, you know what I mean? So what went on ain't even an issue anymore. The fact that he was dating a woman, married to a woman, who allowed him to self-destruct at such a venue is beyond comprehension for me.
Who want to go next?
Okay, I'll backdoor that because I do hear a lot of people say that. But one thing that I do know, okay, I know women very well, and of course I'm a man. Yeah, I know them a little while. So this is what I say to all my ladies and all the ladies that are watching and the ladies that are here. You never know what your man is going to do when another man disrespects you. You never know how he's going to handle it. He may do something that you've never seen him do before. You know, we surprise each other every day as family, as, you know, lovers and all that. So I think in that situation, it was very unexpected because from what I hear, that joke was unscripted. It wasn't rehearsed. You know, and nobody was ready for it.
But she's been called that before, but go ahead.
Yeah, it was, but even after he did it, you can kind of hear them, the crowd even kind of, audience kind of booed a little bit. And he said, what? You know, so nobody really liked the joke. And I think in that moment, it got to him. He made a mistake. I think the joke was a little distasteful. That's my opinion. I think Will got up. He overreacted, and that's what happened. And I think that's still two great people. I think in our personal lives, we've done worse, but the camera didn't catch it for everybody to judge us. It caught them. Will is still great. Chris Rock is still great. I still respect Jada. I think that after that happened, everybody got a pass to disrespect a black woman and call her a B and all that. And I'm not with that. And I think it was just an unfortunate moment.
That was a politically correct answer you just
Yes,
gave.
it was. Yes, it was.
You know what?
That was politically correct. Too. That's the way I feel. Because the thing about it is, you know, women do know what they man gonna do. They know it before you do. How many phone calls have you got, or how many times have a woman? You said you know women well, so that means you've been around women. I've been around women too.
Yeah.
13 years in prison, I made up for, bro. You know what I mean? So I've been around women. Yeah, that's another show. But so I've been around women too. And before I did anything, or while I was doing it, no matter where I was or what I was doing, my woman called me or some way. She let me know. I'm not going to use the colorful language I would use right now, but somehow she tell me, look, don't do that, or that's going to be bad for you. And every time I'm sitting in jail or on the side of the road pulled over by the police or whatever the situation may be, I remember what she said. You know what I mean?
She did say she didn't want him to do it.
When you're intimate with a woman, she knows what you're going to do before you do it.
So
she knows your behaviors.
So let me hear
So
what you got on this? Because we got to go on.
It's going to be politically correct.
It's too political up in here. Let me tell you,
it's not our first rodeo. All right.
No, I think everybody was right, and I think everybody was wrong. So in each instance, somebody played a right part and somebody played a wrong part. So it is absolutely Will's responsibility to protect his wife. Absolutely.
From words? From a comedian?
No, to protect. Whatever it is, if the comedian would have called her a B, or if he called your wife a B, I'm just saying. But what determines the level?
90% of the country suffer from alopecia.
Okay.
90% of the country.
Okay, so we're not gonna go down that road.
We ain't gonna go down that road.
I thought we was finna play.
Y'all
I thought we was finna get dirty, right?
What I'm saying is, it's a husband's responsibility to protect his wife, and what that protection you don't get to determine. Only that husband does.
There you go.
So he has that responsibility. Yeah. Jada had the responsibility to pull back and say, "Hey, babe, this ain't the place." Chris had the responsibility of saying, I didn't handle that right, or not even have that situation. So Chris handled it right at the end by not responding. Will handled it right by protecting, but handled it wrong by making the step, and then Jada did.
Okay, so we
understand where Chris Rock was wrong.
Okay, we gonna talk that sidebar because we definitely got more. I didn't think I was gonna. I didn't think my I didn't think my messiness was gonna last this long. But okay, so what would be you guys' definition of a submissive woman?
I'll go first.
There you go.
And I'm married, so I understand what submission look like in a marital arrangement. For me, a submissive wife is a wife that will come under the vision that I have and will support that. And when I say that, so I just opened this restaurant, and my wife was like, "You probably should do a food truck." And I'm like, "Nah, I kind of want to, food truck and crawfish ain't really my thing. So I want to do a standalone restaurant." And so that was the decision that I was able to make. And then my wife follows under that by supporting me in the areas that I need support, even though she may not have agreed with my decision. And I think when you look at submission, it is being able to be the foundation of the person that is building.
I love that.
My single brothers.
Yeah.
What do y'all?
I'll take it. I will say I run across a lot of beautiful black independent women. Okay. And to me, it's all about allowing me to love you. Because a lot of independent women.
Well, that's my next question. I'm just
I
gonna
got
give
you.
you my stuff.
No problem. I'm ahead. Because it all goes together. And the thing about it is that sometimes you got the right man and you don't allow him to love you because you're not submitting. You're running over everything he's doing. He's trying to step up and say, "Babe, I got it." No, I got it. Okay. A man can only handle that so long. He said, "Look, I've been trying to love you. I've been trying to do the things that a man needs to do in your space. There's no room for me. So I'm gonna go somewhere else where a woman's gonna allow me." So for me, it's not, I don't want to break down all the certain things, but if I had to put a blanket over it, it's allowing me to love you as a man and treat you like the woman that you are.
I don't know. For me, it's about a woman who will allow her man to lead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Submit to what's going on. I believe that the man is the head of the household. You know what I mean? That has nothing to do with gender roles or what society play as it. I just believe that the man is the head of the household and the woman submitting and allowing him to lead. And like he said, being supportive of his dream. A lot of people get the word confused because the first thing in it is submit. You know what I mean? And they think that means you're just supposed to do whatever I tell you to do, when that's not true. Because I believe that both should be submissive at times in a relationship.
What is a deal breaker when meeting women? And I want to see what these two.
Brother, don't answer that question. Don't answer that question, brother.
What's a deal breaker for you two? And the part two of that is, how do you feel about independent women? Because a lot of women today are independent, and we do a lot of stuff on our own. May that be because we just chose a man that's just lazy? How do y'all feel about that? And what's a deal breaker with meeting a woman? Because I meet men that say, "Oh, I don't have no type. I date any kind." No, you don't. You got a type.
You got a type.
For me, one of the deal breakers is she has to be a woman of color. I don't believe that a woman outside of my race could really understand my plight. A black woman has fathers, brothers, uncles, and she saw him go through things. So not being black or not being a woman like me is a deal breaker for me. Because if I go home to her, she don't understand. A white woman can't understand what I go through as a black man. You know what I mean?
That's another show right there.
See, we got all kind of shows jumping off over here.
Stay tuned for the spin-off.
What about you?
Bad attitude, short tempers, bad communication, shutting down.
You got a whole lot.
Yeah, because they all go together.
We all got lists.
Yeah. I mean, they all go together. I mean, I found out that normally a woman who has a bad attitude has a short temper. I find out normally that a woman with a short temper, she doesn't like to communicate well. You know, when she doesn't hear what she wants, she shuts down. You know, or you know, does a lot of deflecting. You know, so for me,
got all them.
yeah, you know, for me, it doesn't matter how good you look, who you are, if you're not a sweet person. Like, I want to be able to step away from you, and you represent me. I represent you when we're in a relationship. I want people to say, your wife or your woman is the sweetest woman I ever met. Because fine is easy, all day. That's not enough. When you're a grown man, looking good, not enough. You know, I need you to be somebody that, you know, can be a good mother to our kids, has some substance. Because look, if you got a beautiful attitude, I mean, you got the Lord in you. Ain't nothing but the devil with that bad attitude.
You want to add something to that before I move on?
Well, yeah, I just think on the independent women, I think generally speaking, we have men, just general, we've dropped the ball.
Yeah.
And it has forced women to be independent. And so now when we come back into the picture to say, hey, I want you to depend on me, they're like, whoa, I didn't figure this thing out on my own. What value do you bring? And I think that's the struggle with most people when they're looking at that independence from a woman's standpoint from a man's.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think about women approaching men?
I'm gonna let y'all have that one.
Yeah, let me. Then you might back up. My counselor back up on this. Go ahead. Let me hear this.
I have no opinion of it one way or another. I don't believe that a woman sleeping with a man on the first day has a bearing on the relationship, the relationship, if there will be one, or if there won't be one. You know what I mean? I'm subject to not deal with a woman who won't go with her passions at that moment. If we're in a position to sleep together on the first day and everything lined up and everything right, if she don't allow herself to give in to her passions, I'm more subject to not deal with you than if you say, oh, I can't do this, it's the first time. You know what I mean? I don't think it has nothing to do with if we will marry you or not.
So you got two questions now, because he done went all the way.
Well, we got a lot of shows.
I still got to hit the independent.
So you come back to the independent. That's out the window at this point. What about women approaching men, and you might as well go to sleeping on the first day, because he brought us right into that was the next question.
Sorry.
You just brought us out.
No, it's an important.
Go ahead.
I think women need to hear that though. For me, I love it.
You love what?
I love for a woman to approach me.
Oh,
I love to see a woman approach him, you know, or, you know, a brother. To me, it shows confidence. You know, you know what you want.
That doesn't come off as desperate.
No, the person can, but the action doesn't. Okay? So I tell a lot of my girlfriends who out here trying to find guys, you know, say, hey, I'm the prize. I'm not fit to step to nobody. And what I say is that your whole life, you put yourself through college, you educated yourself. You got the car you want. You got the career you want. Why won't you go for the man that you want? Why would you let another woman go for the man right there? Oh, well, I'm going to just make sure he see me. Okay, well, there's another woman who walked up and said, brother, how you doing? You're over here looking fine. I saw you on the Monique show, and I just want to buy you a drink. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference, all right? So you know, for me, I love it. I mean, as far as sleeping together on the first night, I've had those conversations before, and a woman has said, look, we're both grown. I enjoy myself. I didn't go into the situation planning to do this, but I did tell myself, my grown self, before I met you and got together with you, that I was going to enjoy myself and go with how I feel. And I respected that woman more than the woman who was hot and cold and confusing and confused. I said,
can
look,
I get my counselor in on this?
Wait a minute, can I answer the independent part?
Huh? Go ahead.
No, go ahead with your counselor. Go ahead. I don't want to take the show.
No, go ahead.
I don't know. I think that on the independent women's side, you know, like he said, a lot of men have dropped the ball, but more than just men, we as a race have dropped the ball. You know what I mean? It takes independent. I don't believe that you said something about God, and I don't believe that we were truly created to be completely independent. You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
So I don't have a problem with an independent woman. Independence means paying her bills. You know what I mean? Taking care of her kids and responsibility. But I believe that we are in a certain situation codependent on one another. I ain't gonna lie to you. I need a woman. I need a woman. God didn't create me to just be by myself. You know what I mean? The decisions that I make and the decisions that you make as an independent woman, if we make them together, what happens? Instead of you having the Monique show, you could have 10 Monique shows with 10 different Moniques. You know what I mean? So you have to realize that what you're doing as an independent person, you'll do so much better being with somebody, you know?
Yeah.
Andrew, you my counselor today. I need to have you right next to me with these two right here.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I mean, I think what they both say is important, right? I think the other part is that in the independence part, really in a relationship, it should be interdependent.
Yes.
It is. We should be depending on each other. So for me and my wife been married 10 years this year, and so in the beginning, I paid all the bills. I made sure everything was taken care of. Got the gas, you know, all of that stuff. Then job changed, and then things looked different. And so then my wife was like, "Hey, let's do this different. Let me pay the bills." And you work on the things that you need to work on. And it was hard for me at first because I was like, I ain't used to this, right? I'm from the husband, you know, the man take care of the responsibility. I'm from that generation, right? And so it was me being able to swallow my pride and recognize that she has my best interests at heart. It's our goal to build this dynasty that we're building, not just mine. And a part of it is me stepping back saying, okay, let's do this thing. And a lot of times that's hard for men.
That kind of leads into my last question, and we're going to close out this segment. But do you feel the gender roles have changed?
I think it's
from back when I grew up. My father worked, my mom did not work, and he took care of the household as far as bills and stuff like that, and my mom did the other stuff. But in this day and time, we don't do that because we work just as well as men work.
Yeah. And men do, and we take out the garbage, and we clean up the kitchen, and we cook.
Right.
You tell me most men cook more in relationships than women do.
Well, I need to find out.
I believe that the gender roles change, and it's not because we change them, but society kind of blurs the lines with gender roles. We see it on another show with homosexuality. They make things acceptable.
Yeah, I think you got to do what's best for your relationship. Yeah. You know, of course, back in the days, you know, like he said, hey man, this is what I'm used to. I'm used to paying all the bills. But then in his situation, it made sense to do something different. You know what I'm saying? So you have to do what works best. Yes, nowadays things do look a little different, but it's okay. And everybody needs to understand that it's okay. Because for all my brothers, you a man regardless of how much money that you're making or not making. But some men need to make a certain amount of money and drive a certain car to feel that way. That's why you need a woman that makes you feel like a man no matter what you have or don't have. But I can preach all day.
Yeah, I know you can.
So you know.
See, you said the gender roles. You know what I mean? And it ain't so much that, because you have to also realize the jobs have changed. When we were growing up, people worked in factories. They worked in steel mills. Nowadays, people jobs are what? They sitting in front of a laptop making phone calls.
On your phone.
So, of course, they change, because it does make a woman feel more independent, because now you can make as much money as he can. He can go build buildings. And you can sit at home on an in-home job and make phone calls and make just as much money. So yes, again, society. That's society forcing us
Black
to
women
change
are way more successful now
than we may ever been.
Yes, you know, and I love it. I love it. And I think that a man, you know, he just has to, you know, love you just how you are. The woman has to, like I said, y'all have to do what works for the both of you.
Anything else you want to put with that? Because I'm finna close out.
No, I'll just say what they said is true. But I think culturally and socially, things have changed. The roles, but they don't have an assignment, right? So I cook at my house, and you know my wife does whatever she does. So it is, you know, it is. You get to define in that, and I think the roles were forced to change because now, whether it's economically, socially, or spiritually it is. Back then, my granddaddy worked, but my grandmother stayed home and took care of the kids.
Exactly.
And so it's just not like that anymore.
No,
and
it's,
so I think they have changed.
It's
It's
okay.
definitely not like that. So, guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we return, I will have another phenomenal man with me, Mr. A.D. Green, and we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about the things that he went through in life, how he dealt with them, and how he's on his comeback. And so we'll be right back. Don't go far, because I will have these three men back with me a little later in the show. So we'll be right back.
$100 on chicken nuggets?
$100 on chicken nuggets. Really?
How'd you get in my house?
I'm with Wisdom Tax.
Wisdom tax, so you can help me with all of this.
Most definitely. Looks like you need help in bookkeeping.
So what about maximizing my refund?
We can only maximize your refund if you get organized. Here at Wisdom Tax and Financial, we teach you how to be free. 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 Free.
Free! Awesome! So I can be free of these receipts.
Most definitely. Please give us a call.
Thank you. Can you free yourself out of my house, please?
Only if you promise to give us a call.
I'll give you a call. So I can be free.
Wisdom Tax. Learn to be free.
We are back, guys, and I am super excited. I have Mr. A.D. Green here with me, and let me give you guys a little background. You started doing music at 13 years old. 1999, you joined Swisher House, and I'm very familiar with Swisher House and records here in Houston. 2005, 2006, you went to prison. You was sentenced, how long? Because you didn't get the whole, you had like a 50-year sentence, didn't you?
Well, the judge, what we call, throwed the book at me.
Yeah, cool.
And I got 50 years, and I was sentenced to that. And fortunately, when I went to TDC, which is the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, I had to do like 4 years, 3 years, until I actually won my appeal. And when I won my appeal, I was able to get some of the time back to the state.
You were released in 2020. You have a new release, Return of the Realist. You got your Real Culture podcast. You got a clothing line coming out, and your nonprofit Another Chance Foundation. So you are definitely did not let that situation hold you down whatsoever. But what inspired you to go into entertainment? Because entertainment is a mess.
Well, I think it all started with my youth. I saw another side that I knew didn't exist. I was able to get involved in theater arts and stuff like that, and I was shy growing up as a kid. But something about that stage that just brought the best out of me, and it's something that I didn't know I had. So that's most of it. I was inspired by other artists, music industry. Of course, your Michael Jacksons, your rap culture in Houston, your Scarfaces, your Tupacs and stuff like that. And just the overall culture, H-time period, you know.
So what are your thoughts on the entertainment world today?
It needs to be rescued. Somebody save it.
Yeah.
Now, I guess we're moving with the culture and the way things are shifting now. You have, today's time, it's not a lot of substance. It's not a lot of substance in the music. The lyrics don't really move you. Back then, you had real lyrical artists that were able to tell stories.
It wasn't just entertainment, because I think now it's a lot of it is the entertainment.
Right. Nowadays, we
music.
just moving to get paid, get a check. Whatever we want, what's going on right now, you know, you twerking, whatever, you know, dance music.
Whatever will
stuff like
sell.
that.
How has being in prison changed your outlook on life?
Well, I can see a new me now because I didn't let the first day incarceration, I let it be my first days in preparation. I didn't let it hold me back. I was one of the ones that was able to turn back into the things that Big Mama, your aunties, your praying grandmothers, I still had a part of me that was spiritual, even in the darkness in the valley. And I was able to turn back that and just tap into a new me. I didn't let it define me. I defined it. So I guess that's what pushed me to be a better me. I didn't give up. I didn't say that, hey, I'm gonna throw the towel in and it's over.
Yeah.
Nah, I knew it was another
chapter,
phase in my life. So
tell us about your foundation.
The nonprofit organization is basically what we do is we reaching out to families of incarcerated people, like the ones that don't have the awareness of what really goes on. So what the foundation does, it gives them insight of what really goes on and how important and imperative it is to support your loved ones, because everyone has a loved one, I'm pretty sure, in the family or whatever, that's locked up. And I want to be that voice to be able to let others know, hey, this is what goes on. This is what it takes, a letter, a visit, or some type of support, money in the mail, something like that. Hey, I was one of them.
Will you be also helping educate families on how the law works with their loved one being incarcerated?
Absolutely, because that's one of the very important things that we need to do. We need to go and lobby, whatever we need to get together and move in numbers, to strengthen numbers. So yeah, most definitely, that's the only way we're going to change the laws, is to be able to change the system.
Exactly, because they definitely need to be changed. Let's talk about the new music, the clothing line, and the podcast. 'Cause you came out in 2020 and you have been on a roll ever since.
Well, it first started off with one of my guys that I reached out to when I was in there, in prison or whatever. You can still do things,
Yeah,
so
I know.
I was able to reach out to Power Wall,
Okay.
a platinum artist. Everybody know him. His artist was I was able to let him know, hey, I'm getting ready to get out. Hey, look, I need you on this song. So he kept his word. And when I got out, we did what my first single, which is Crawling on Great. It talks about H-Town culture and everything that we do out here. And he was able to get on that song with me, and then we shot a video for it, and the rest was history.
Okay.
World star, 1 million views, and very classic right now. Okay. So that was one of my first ones.
What about the podcast and your clothing line?
Real Culture podcast season 1 was a success. The Real Culture just is talking about being authentic to who you are. You stand out, and I think every day, every moment is a reel. So I was able to change the name as far as the image of when you say real. I was able to put a reel, like REEL.
Yeah.
Because every day we live is a highlight reel. So I changed the reel to Real Culture, and I spelled it with the K instead of the C. So I mean, it basically just everybody get to express who they are, and at the same time just being authentic and real.
And real.
Something like your show.
Most people it's a lot of people that don't know the real them. So,
right.
And your clothing line.
The clothing line, Squarewear, is my brand, and a lot of people would say, "Whoa, Squarewear." Well, square means standing on the truth. Like I said, being authentic, standing on a 360 degree of knowledge, self, and wisdom, meaning standing on who you are. So you're being true to who you are, and the wear is every other brand that inspired me as far as the urban fashion goes. So it's just Squarewear Entertainment, and most people would think that, oh, okay, he said Squarewear.
Yeah.
So Square is gonna wear his clothes, but no, it's for everybody.
Yeah.
Because I'm changing the dynamic, I'm changing the whole the setting of what we think Square means.
Okay.
So everybody can wear my brand.
Okay. What would you say to the young AD?
Whoa. I'm gonna have to pull out a whole list of things. Now I would tell the young AD to be more focused, to watch everybody not your friend. To learn, listen, and to make better choices. That's probably what I would tell a young AD, and just be patient. You know, because a lot of things that I see in myself now I didn't see back then. That's what I was lacking: patience and making right choices and friends and stuff like that. So that's probably what I would tell myself.
That's good.
And be quiet sometimes. Shut up.
That's good.
Get out your way.
What would you say to a young man going down the wrong path? Because in this day and time, especially in Houston, every day we're seeing young teenagers committing all kind of crimes, going to jail for the rest of their lives. What would you say to another young man going down the wrong path?
I would first tell him to, like I said, switch who your friends are. You are what you around. Birds of a feather flock together. So I would tell them to make wiser choices and decisions, and try to see your end from the beginning. It all starts with being able to think. So I would tell them to surround themselves with better people. You know, when I growed up, I had a lot of the wrong people around me.
Do you think the way society is now, everything is like microwaved at a very, very high speed? So kids today, it's like they don't want to take time to learn and get educated. They want it right now. They want to get money right now, and it's not how that works. So is it because of society, or is it like a parenting? What is it today?
Definitely.
To get them to understand this is how this works. It's not, you're not going to be overnight success if you want to entertainment. You're not going to be overnight success because you want to be doing YouTube videos. You probably will have to get out and work. How do we make our young people understand that and go back to that value, and go to school, get your education, get a job, work instead of steal it?
I think it has a lot to do with the way society has handicapped us and things that going on in the social media era. So today's time is so accessible that we don't even, our children are quick to watch a YouTube video. They're quick to watch something on social media instead of like getting out there and really getting in the field of what it takes to become a better person, as far as like finding a job or making a career for yourself, or whatever it is they want to partake in. So it definitely had to do with the parents. Sometimes the parents got to tell you, hey, cut that off. You watching the wrong thing. You know, nowadays you have like rappers raising children or whatever they look up to, or, you know, stuff like that instead of the parenting. So I think, the parent is definitely one of the reasons why our kids struggle today. And also, like, I have to say sometimes, like, the environments, because, like, we only do what the others do, or what we see, what we're around. We become a victim or whatever to the surroundings and stuff like that. So maybe a big brother program, or maybe a mentor or something that they were lacking.
And get them to stay into it and sell into that. Most definitely. Tell us how we can follow you, reach you, all that stuff. Don't give your phone number out. I don't want nobody calling you. Give us all that social media information.
Okay, first of all, I'm going to tell you about a new project that I'm dropping. Return to Realist is already on all major streaming sites. I'm getting ready to drop Timeless right now.
Okay.
And you can follow me at I am AD Green. I kept it simple. I am AD Green on all social media sites. So that's pretty much where I'm at.
That's it. And congratulations on the new little baby. I thought I was going to see her today, but I don't know where they at.
My angel.
So congratulations on that. I want to say thank you for being here with me.
Thanks for having me.
You will be back on the 21st for the entertainment show that I'm doing. So I can't wait to have you back. So guys, I'll be right back. I'll be bringing my trio back to cut up a little bit more.
They getting that action.
Weren't they? So we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Willie Adolph of the Adolph Group at Equity House Properties. I'm here today to talk to you about home purchasing. You know, a lot of times people want to know, where do we start? When do we start? How much do we need to save? What does our credit score need to be like? Can I really move in now? And the answer is yes. The thing is that you want to get pre-approved first before you even go house shopping, because what you wouldn't want to happen is that you find the perfect home, but the bank won't qualify you for your mortgage. So always get pre-approved first. So find a good lender, which we have a lot of resources for you on that. Second, you want to make sure that anything that's on your credit, if it's something that you can work with, let's work with it, because everything on your credit, you know, it depends on what it is for each mortgage company. And third, once you get that pre-approval, now it's time to go house shopping. Now, Willie, what about the money, the down payment and things like that? Well, they have a lot of programs that's out there. So based on your credit will depend on the down payment assistance that you can receive. But we do have a lot of resources and a lot of things that can help you. And everyone with the Adolph Group will hold you by your hand and walk you through the whole process. So you can contact us at www.theadolphgroup.com or 281-451-7087. And remember, when you have will, you have a way.
The Adolph Group at Equity House Properties. We provide residential, commercial leasing apartment locating. We provide consulting on home buying, home selling, and credit restoration. We help with private investments through All Faith Investment Corporation. Contact us now, the Adolph Group at Equity House Properties. We make real estate your reality.
And we are back, guys. And I am back with my three men, Mr. Andrew Damon, that I'm about to put out, and Al.
Yes, that's me.
So we're gonna go into mental health. So why do you guys think it's so hard for men to talk about their mental health?
People don't listen.
I also believe that men, when we talking about mental health, a lot of times we divulge stuff to our woman. And women tend to use things that we say later on to lash out at us. So how can we talk about our mental health? Our mental health is things, again, like dealing with sexual molestation, drug addiction, and stuff like that. That contributes to our mental health. So if I tell you I have a sexual or erectile dysfunction, or I'm a drug addict, or I feel like, you know, I'm smaller than other men in stature, and as soon as you get mad at me, you like, oh, you little ding-a-ling person, or you know what I mean, or you crack addict, you know what I mean? So that hurt us.
Right.
So it forced us to kind of shut down.
So I have to disagree kind of with that.
Okay.
I got what you're saying, and that is true. Some women do that. But I dated someone that had erectile dysfunction issue, since we're being real. I didn't use that. I didn't use that against him.
Well, again, you know, like you say, most
I
people,
never did.
when we
Even when
we're
he was
speaking
trying to
in
cheat
generalities.
and had that problem, and you cheating at the same time. I don't know how that worked out, but it was working out.
But
for him.
every other woman.
But I
have.
never used that against him, though.
But that's you now.
Yeah.
You don't.
No,
most people mature.
No,
and we begin to
that's me.
Well, that may be you, but you're not every woman, just like I'm not every man.
Yeah, you might have been the only
you know
one.
What I mean, and that's unique. It is. It's unique, and I appreciate it from you. You need to teach more women that.
Yeah.
Shout it out to him right now. Shout it out to him right now.
Because she might have been the only one that ain't talk about that man when he was coming up short, literally.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna pray for that brother, whoever that is.
Right.
Oh my God!
Put our hands together and bow.
You know what?
Short prayer.
I don't know if I should have did a locker room with these. Can you help me? Can you please help me?
The primary reason I think that men don't talk about mental health is we think we got it together, right? So for you know, I go to my therapist twice a month, and in that process, I realized that I got some jacked up crap, right? Now, when my therapist tell me I got some jacked up crap, I start working to make the jacked up crap better.
Yeah.
But when my wife tell me I got some jacked up
It's a
crap,
problem.
I'm like, whoa, what's wrong with me? Why I ain't good enough? What's your issues, right?
Yeah.
And so the primary issue is the things that have been issues for me. My wife has talked to me about them before I went to counseling, and I'm like, shit, I'm good. No, I'm good. But now that I'm actually seeking professional help, it allows me to be able to see it from a place that's objective, as opposed to a place that I'm calling emotional. And so we think we got it together, so that's why we don't talk about it.
How important is it for a man not to lose his masculinity? And that kind of goes along kind of with the first question. How, because I'm gonna do another Room the Man.
Yeah, you're going to have to do another one of these shows because I wanted to expand on the answer right there.
I have, and I try to do better. I have a bad habit. My tongue, I will cut a man down to a little boy.
See?
But you just got to
No, I didn't do that with him. I didn't do it with him.
But you do it though.
But
and that's the problem with men
When
trying to talk to
when I
women.
say I do it, I'm not talking about I do it with somebody I'm in a relationship with. You know, in certain situations.
Oh, okay.
I know my tongue will cut you down to a little boy.
You see, men know that.
Right, and
So-
even if we have
and
a woman like you that don't do it, every other woman we contact
That's what I was
is
saying.
doing it to us.
See, you the
So,
first woman
right.
to come by.
So I try to be mindful now to not do that. And when I'm having a disagreement with a gentleman, I try to remember they're a man and make them feel like they're a man and not cut them down.
Well, can you remember that when they turn the camera off?
Right. She treat us good. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what? I would like to answer that and actually expand a little bit on what I was saying before about people don't listen. I feel like there's been too many examples of where a black man especially has told the world that I have bipolar or whatever it may be, or I deal with this, and everybody laughs at it. It's funny. When it's a woman, you know, everybody's like, "Whoa, really?" And
Let's start a GoFundMe account and help her get some help.
Right. You know, I mean, it's not talking down, but that's just I've seen that.
It's true.
Yeah,
And
it's a double standard. It's
Right.
basically what
And
you're
with
saying.
men, like, you know, look at people like, I mean, celebrities are easy to talk about because everybody knows them. But look at somebody like Kanye. Kanye, you know, he says, hey, look, I have this. I've dealt with this. I lost my mom. The person that was dear to me, the one that was controlling my emotions, I lost her. I suffer from bipolar. Oh, he crazy.
But he said these things. But you can say these things, but if you're not taking the necessary steps, so far as medication, therapy, like Andrew said, he goes to therapy. If you're not taking those necessary steps and you just still out in the world doing crazy stuff, then how do you expect anybody to look at you or even take you seriously? Because you're saying this and you acknowledge you have these problems. You need to then follow it up by getting help.
Well, I feel like it
And
just
in his
like,
case, he don't do that.
But just like it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a village to uplift the brother,
Yes, it does.
to uplift the sister.
Sure
The
does.
problems I see in those situations is that our culture will talk about each other instead of uplift each other.
True.
We'll sit back and say, man, he crazy. He got a problem. Oh, won't he just go to therapy? Won't nobody pick up the phone and say,
help him
brother,
get therapy."
here's my therapist.
But
Right.
I've been dealing with.
in that
They'll buy you some
situation with
drugs and
him,
alcohol first before they buy you some therapy.
people have reached out and done that and tried to get him help. And it's just like, let's take the celebrity out of it. It could be a regular person.
Yeah.
You can reach out to that regular person because you know they need help. But that person themselves have to also realize that they need that help. And they're open to accepting it. That's just like someone that's on drugs. My brother was a drug addict. We put him in many rehabs. Many rehabs, got kicked out of rehabs. But until he realized that he was ready, it's nothing gonna change.
But I feel like we give up on each other too quickly too. In our culture, you know, we give up on each other too quickly. Man, I called them, I tried, that's it. It's crazy when you look at other cultures and other races, they embrace their own even when they're messing up. If they messing up and doing something bad, they just be quiet, but they still support them on the back end. Us, we'll make a meme, we'll laugh at you, we'll share, we'll make memes of Jada's bald head, and you know, we'll throw each other away for one mistake. That was when Will smacked Chris.
We ain't going back to what. Wait.
Well, no, but we're talking about the action because that's showing I'm broken down. We never seen that brother do nothing like that before.
And that's. I don't want to go back to that because we have to move on. But that's what I said. He's that broken little boy from when he saw his father beating his mom.
A lot of us are broken.
Yeah.
And we pay more attention to them because they celebrities. Right. You know what I mean? You got everybody in the world, and again, you said you don't want to open that can of worms, but everybody in the world is talking about this and how he need to get help. Let us see a brother. You said we give up on one another too easy. I don't think we ever really stood for one another.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? When a person ain't never really standing for you, it changed the whole dynamic. How are we standing for a celebrity, but you can't stand for your brother or your sister?
Right next to you.
So what advice do each of you have for women when dealing with a man with mental health and being supportive?
You should take that one first, brother.
I'm gonna take it first.
we're gonna ride that one out.
I think the primary thing is understanding what the support looks like to him. So kind of like you were saying earlier about Kanye getting help. Well, we don't get to determine what type of help he gets. And we don't get to determine if he is putting in the work to get the help.
Right.
And so I think a lot of times what happens is we judge based on what we see, not based on the facts. And that's the real issue. So, yeah. Did I answer your question?
I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that what happens is our past relationships dictate how we go into our future. You know what I mean? And it's like with love languages. You're supposed to have one you love to give and one that you love to receive. Well, you love to give the one that you do because your last mate needed it. And it's in you to try to please them. So whereas you enter your relationship and that man needs words of encouragement to help his mental health, you study touching him. You know what I mean? You giving them physical touch or you giving them gifts. So you have to slow down and pay attention to what your mate really needs.
And
you know what I mean? And ask for it.
And ask. That's the thing. We don't communicate well. So we spend so much time assuming, and we assume based on our past experiences or our other interactions. But we never just sit down and ask, hey, what is it that you need? How can I help you in this?
Or pay attention, because a lot of times, like you say, we don't speak it.
Right.
You know what I mean? We might not tell our mate what we need because, again, we're afraid that they're going to use it against us later. But you can best believe we're showing you. Yeah. We showing you all along. I've been in situations a lot of times with a woman and they'll leave. They'll be like, I just don't know what you want.
Yeah.
Well, you're not paying attention to me. Because if you paid attention to me, you would know exactly what it is that I need.
I think in addition
because
to
I'm
that,
telling you, I'm crying out to you. We had a conversation about this on the way over here. When babies cry when they need something.
Yeah.
And as adults, we do the same thing. Men, women, we do the same thing. We cry when we need something. So you're not paying attention to my cry. You let your baby cry, oh, she wet. Oh, she need a bottle. Your man crying, you like, I don't know what's wrong with that Negro. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
You need to be quiet.
Pay attention.
I think it's communication, paying attention and communication, because sometimes our observations are off. Sometimes we're observing the new person based off how we observed the last person. And then they end up being completely the last different person. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't left you. So, and you're looking for the next person. But if you simply ask your man, what's wrong? What's going on? You know, is there something I can do to help? You know, you'll be amazed with your man. For all the ladies listening, ask your man, are you happy with me? Are you happy with yourself? What can I do to support you, to uplift you more? You'll be surprised.
Yeah, they will be surprised.
Be surprised. You think you're doing everything like you said. Women, I love women.
Everything that they should.
Yeah, I love women because they have this idea like, you know what? I bought you this. I cooked this. And the man is happy in that sense. but it's some things that he'll share with you that he won't share with nobody else. And he don't feel comfortable approaching you about it because every woman besides you has cut him down. The world cuts him down. When he tells the world, I need help, I'm suffering, they laugh, they make a meme. They say he gonna be all right. So a lot of men are very hesitant to even come into their woman because that's the last person for that a man can take cutting him down. After that, he shuts down.
Can I say one more thing about that? Every man needs a woman in his life that makes him feel like more of a king when the world is threatened to make him feel like less than. You know what I mean? You said it, the world cut us down, especially as a black man. When I walk out the door, everybody against me. My homeboys want my woman, they want my car, they want my house. You know what I mean? Bob at work can't stand me. He just really messing with me because I make him look good to Tom.
Right.
You know what I mean? Black women on the street talking crazy. How many kids you got? How many da-da-da-da-da? You know what I mean? Everybody, when them black men walk out the door, everybody in the world try to cut him down and make him feel like less than what he is. Every black man needs a woman at home that make him feel like more than the world does. Make him feel like more of a king than the world does.
Amen.
I want your beer.
You.
Hey, I got some beer.
We're gonna go do a little commercial right now.
Yeah, back
You know
to
what I'm saying?
commercial break now.
I got you, brother.
Y'all are something else.
Hey, that's what you invited us
Yeah,
here for.
yeah.
You something else too, though.
What?
We know.
I'm a sweetheart. I am a sweetheart.
Keep the cameras on.
What are some ways each of you keep your mental health in check?
Well, for me, I'm in therapy, right? So I go to therapy twice a month. The other thing I do is I find my happy place. Like, my life is really, really busy. You know, between entrepreneurship, owning the business, I travel a lot. I work a lot. But I find time for myself. You know, self-care, you know, this is one of the things I talk to guys about, is we spend so much time self-medicating that we haven't figured out about self-care. And so finding my happy spot, if it's going play tennis or going shoot some hoops, whatever it is pulling myself away from everything else, including my spouse, my children, my parents, so that I can refresh and rejuvenate because I'm empty. And then I can pour out once I'm refilled. And so those are different things that I do.
You said, how does a man deal with?
How do you take care of your mental health? How do you keep your mental health in check?
I mean, you know, I hear you, and I do that too. But I use marijuana, drink good alcohol, and go to the strip club, and not in a bad way. No, seriously.
We promote this beer oil to the fullest,
but not in a bad way. You know, I need to keep my mental. No, but seriously, to keep my mental health in check, sometimes I need to go blow off steam. You know what I mean? Or I need to fix me a drink, and I'm not talking like just sit down with a bottle and get lit. But you know what I mean? Fix me a nice shot of good whiskey, sit by the fire, and just let it out. You know what I mean? And you know, like, I mean, I understand that you said your happy place is playing tennis. Well, my happy place is the strip club. You know what I mean? And I'm being honest. Y'all laughing, man. I'm being serious.
All right. We're going to flash his number on the screen. And all the dancers going to call him after the show. Because we're going to call it happy place.
But that's my happy place. You know what I mean? I mean, it does. It helps me deal with people because sometimes if I don't have a drink, I may choke the mess out of somebody.
You know?
Have a drink at the strip club.
I know
they got good therapists there.
Yeah.
I know you're being serious, but I have never been so
I love it. Listen, he being real.
I'm being real, man.
Being real.
Hey, what the man say before us? He got disclosed. They said square where? I'm standing on my square, 100%.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
There's some men out there that identify with that.
Yeah.
And that's real.
That's real.
All right.
And I want to touch on that real quick.
Okay.
Because
don't touch too hard. Your wife might.
Yeah. He don't go to the strip club.
I don't go to
He
strip
used
club.
to do that.
I used to. But,
Old days.
Oh my God.
but if you notice, one of the things that, and it just was illuminated to me, if you notice, when I say I go to therapy, everybody was like, oh, okay, cool, that's good. When he said he uses his with marijuana, then everybody was like, oh, it's different, right? So it becomes judgmental to that person because most people look at that as a negative approach.
But it's not.
I'm gonna go with him to show him I support him.
Right.
I don't want you to feel bad.
What time we done filming?
I don't want you
Go
to
ahead.
feel bad.
Let him finish. Go ahead and finish.
No. So while my approach is noble, and people see mine as noble, they see his as a negative. And so now because they see it as a negative, then people look at him differently because that's his way of coping with his mental health. And so now when all these people see him as negative, then he starts to have to withdraw because I can't trust you. I can't be close to you. I can't give you my information. And so that's the real key, is being able to communicate what it is that you really need, what really works for you. And then as long as there ain't nothing illegal, immoral, then walk in that.
And I think that's and it's not abusing it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's
where the
problem
come in at, and that's where the abuse come in at. When I can't talk to you about it, then my strip club visits become a secret. My using marijuana becomes more profound. My drinking takes on a whole new meaning.
Yeah.
So I understand that.
Let's see what you gonna tell me. No, let's see what you gonna.
Okay, yeah.
And we're gonna go into this break to do this last segment. But go ahead, let's see what you gonna say.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna end mine off with saying God. God is. Let me tell you something. I've experienced a lot of loss.
Yeah, you have.
You know, in my life, it's been pretty public. You know about it. And a lot of people watching that know about it. And the thing that's crazy is because my relationship with God is so strong, I was able to see that every time I lost something, I got something 10 times. You know, when you're not tuned in, you can't even see the way he's healing you. You can't see the medicine he puts right in front of you. You can't see the blessing that walks right in front of you and shakes your hand or, you know, gives you a hug. You're like, this person was sent to me to heal me. So for me, my mental health, let me tell you, it's been past where I thought, you know, it would be with all that I've lost because of my relationship with God. And let me tell you, that's one thing that it's okay to abuse. You can't do too much of it.
No, you definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So I pray and I look at every situation and I say, God, what was you trying to show me? You know, if somebody was taken out of my life, I look at it and I realize, you know what, that person didn't belong to me. You know, he belonged to you first. And from there, what can I take from it? You know, how can I get stronger from it? So then from there, it goes into me doing my acting, writing my songs, all right, you know, motivational songs, my speeches. And it's crazy. Sometimes he blesses you in so many ways, even through your hurt, through your pain, you can reach somebody who has been through the same thing. Because for, you know, somebody out there who lost a mom or lost a fiance or whatever it may be, you know, I can get up in front of the stage and they say, man, I needed that today. I get DMs and inboxes and say, brother, I was gonna do something bad tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I was seeing your post, seeing that video. Thank you, you know. So for me, my mental health is where it needs to be because of God.
Okay, so guys, we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back to close out the show with our last segment, so we'll be right back.
Welcome to River and Word. Our founder is Pam Jones, and she has so much to offer to independents. River and Word magazine helps promote, support, and connect you to radio, TV, and marketers to help you be successful in the arts. River and Word recently launched the River Word Gospel Radio Station. It's a place to gain more exposure for your music or talk shows. River Health offers all natural products that may help you lose weight, gain energy, reverse the signs of aging, improve eyesight, grow your hair, and almost 40 plus benefits. For more information, visit riverhealthnewulife.com. Pam Jones also has 4 River Consulting for independents, where she will guide, advise, and connect you to the resources to develop your brand. Pam Jones founded the River Awards to recognize and award the independent artists in music, dance, writing, and painting. She felt a call from God to give honor to his people. For more information, visit us at riverandword.com.
Wisdom tax. Maybe I should give him a call. Oh, how did you get in my house again?
Now, you know I told you I'm with Wisdom Tax.
Well, I'm glad you showed up because I think I'm ready to get started.
Great. Look, I just need you to do one simple step. Visit our website online, www.wisdomtax.org. All right, fill out the application, and we'll get back to you, maybe even in the next 10 minutes.
Awesome. I'm about to be free. Look, this is amazing. You know, so what? Wait. Hello?
Call us at Wisdom Tax, where you learn to be free.
And we are back in this last segment, and oh my goodness, I don't know what to say about these three at all. But let's talk a little bit about our youth. What are each of your views on our young men today?
Man, he said it earlier. It takes a village to raise a child, and our villages are screwed up right now. Our villages are empty. I mean, YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, those are our villages now. You know what I mean? So our youth is in a bad place because the independence we talked about, we're not coming together and raising our kids. Right. You know, a child needs, and again, that's part of that, the independence thing. A child needs both parents. There can't no woman raise no boy or no girl effectively. Then a man can't do it either. We have to come together and do it together, not just as man and woman, but as a village.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Whichever one of y'all want.
Well, you know, I have a mentoring organization,
yeah,
so
you do
I focus on young men with absentee fathers, but I'm not limited to that. You know, there's young ladies and young men who have mom and dad, but they just got terrible friends, and they'll get you put in jail, they'll get you killed. So I do want to say, for if there's any parent or any young man or young lady that's watching, I do believe in you. Everybody that's here, we have good hearts and we believe in you. I know often you get told that you're not enough, you're doing too much, you're not doing enough. We believe in you. I think that we need to get back to uplifting them instead of talking about them. I think we need to get back to doing something about it instead of just telling them what they're not doing and how they're not measuring up. I think they're very creative now. I think they got a lot of resources, but it's up to us to teach them how to use the resources and how to direct their creativity for success. Because in the same way, that's how you got a lot of these girls in the clubs and a lot of the guys walking around shooting people, because somebody took the time to pull them to the side and mold them in that way. So we need just as many of us that's doing the same thing in a positive way.
What you have?
I think we've become too busy to mentor as a culture. So we're not spending time with the youth. And I think if we will step back and stop trying to encourage them to be us and meet them where they are, then we can eventually, by our interaction and our communication, we can eventually start raising up a youth that can start raising up a youth.
So I want to ask Al a question before I get all you guys give us the social media information and stuff. I asked this question to AD. What would you say to the young Al?
I would say that every decision you make right now is going to come back to haunt you in the future. That the things that we do as a child affect us as an adult. So I would say, somewhat like AD said, decisions we have to make. A younger Al has to make better decisions. I don't regret anything I've done. I wouldn't be the man I am today had I not done it, but I would have took a different road. I would have made better decisions. So.
Okay. So can each of you give your social media information? Or how you want to be? Don't give phone numbers. Thank you.
I'm gonna give his phone number.
My phone number on my social media information, so hit me up. No, my social media information is IG at Big Al Boss Barber, and my Facebook is Al J Fitzgerald Sr. I also have a website for my barbershop, which is www.fademastershd.com.
And the beard oil.
And my beard oil. You can find that on my social media page.
Who's next?
Andrew Landry, social media, Andrew J. Landry for my personal, for my nonprofit Where Men Hurt. Just look us up, wheremenhurt.org is our website. And also, that's where you can get the books, Overcoming the Addiction That No One Has, and After the Violation, a comprehensive guide to healing after being sexually mishandled. And also, you can reach us at Juicy Heads and Spicy Tails, Crawfish, and more. 1502 First Street in Humble, Texas. Where Juicy Heads, Spicy Tails is our Facebook and IG.
Catfish is amazing.
Catfish is amazing.
I had it. Come on here, Michael Jackson, little brother. Come on.
Because I'm the man in the mirror, Monique. Really. No, but so you can go to my website, which is imdvalentine.com, which talks about my interactive kids book and also my mentoring organization, which you can catch on IG at Young Kings Mentoring. So check me out.
I want to thank all of you for being here today. I don't know how is this show gonna come out once, because oh my goodness, they said a lot of things that I was not expecting. But guys, until next time, if you need any information on these guests, please contact the Our Life TV Show at gmail.com. Always like, follow, share the Our Life TV Show. You can catch me every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on the OnPoint Network, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, Xbox, AT&T Now. Until next time, guys, always empower, always encourage, pull up to the table without fear, but with confidence, and continue to remove your mask.